Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so it's full-blown chaos in New York City, an active shooter situation, just transpired in the center of Manhattan. And you know, I wish I'd be reporting on just the facts here and trying to get as much information of what we know so far and simply present that. As much as I'd like to do that, well, we live in Clown World 2025, and so already the usual suspects in the left-wing media machine are getting up to no good. Before any of the facts are known, they're heading into conspiracy theory, racial narrative territory. You know, just another excuse to fan the flames of racial politics, to politicize a tragic event as the Democrats love to do, of course. Never let a crisis go to waste is really the mantra here. And so instead of just simply presenting the story and what we know, we gotta take a look at the whole macro view, of course. Let me update you guys on everything that's going on here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so here's what we know so far. Supposedly, the incident took place at 345 Park Avenue in Midtown Manhattan, which is an upscale office tower, which is supposedly mostly leased by a company called Blackstone, which is one of the biggest investment firms in the country, and according to early reports, somebody was shooting down at pedestrians on the street from the 34th floor, and so how he got to that floor is unknown, whether he was possibly working in the building, maybe working at Blackstone, whether the shooting was happening from their office.
This may seem more of an internal type of scenario, maybe a former employee, because it seemed that he knew exactly where he wanted to be and where to go.
A lot of that is unconfirmed at this point, although there's some speculation that's going on online. I don't really want to delve into that territory, but you know who's perfectly open to delve into ridiculous speculation in this situation? Well, of course, it's CNN, who almost immediately brought on a guest who instantly hit us with his genius speculation.
Do you know, John, at this point, when he came in, the way you described him, walking across the plaza all in black with a long gun visible, it sounded like he, other than the long gun, which is not a simple thing to say other than in New York City, right? People don't walk around with guns like that. But was his face visible? I mean, do they have any idea at this point who he is?
They do not know who he is. They know he is a male, possibly white. He's wearing sunglasses. He appears to have a mustache. And that picture has been distributed to every police officer in New York City, particularly has been sent to the phones of the search teams inside that building, because whenever they encounter a group of people, the first thing they have to figure out is that individual among these people hiding among victims or pretending to be an office worker? Because one thing you don't want to have happen is to have this kind of cordon where you're trying to evacuate people in groups as you can get them to a safe corridor and have this person slip out with them. So yes, they have the picture and they have distributed to everybody on the scene.
Just randomly speculating that it could have possibly been a white male based on literally nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. No confirmed image, no statement from police, no reason other than projecting a narrative. Of course, what's at the core of these people's minds anytime a tragedy happens? We'll just draw back to the same premise. It's a radical right-wing white guy probably wearing a MAGA hat. It's probably Donald Trump himself. I mean, that's the frickin' script every time, right? The racial grift. And well, you could imagine what happened next. A photo of the suspect, as we know currently, then makes it to the internet. And here the photo is, yeah, not exactly Brad Stevens here, right? The whitest name that comes to mind? Certainly not a white guy. And you know what's really wild? The early police reports, which we got from real-time police communications, went like this.
Middle Eastern male, wearing all tan. In the elevator, 32nd floor. The perp description is a Middle Eastern male wearing all tan.
A Middle Eastern man wearing all tan. That was one of the earliest reports. But of course, here we go, CNN, oh, it's probably a white male. Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said Clown World 2025. But yeah, as we know, this is the suspect. It appears to be a black male wielding a weapon. I'm not exactly a gun expert, but it looks possibly like an AR-15. It looks rather customized. But this individual apparently walked in the building where there was an NYPD officer already in the building lobby, and the shooter allegedly turned the weapon on the officer, immediately shooting him where he died.
Who was in the lobby of this building in Midtown, sees this guy come in. Before he knows it, we're told in the security footage, he pulls out a gun, shoots the security guard, and kills him in the lobby. They rushed him to the hospital, but they weren't able to save him. So that police officer was hit by this gunman that we're told was wearing a bulletproof vest in this midtown skyscraper. Everything that's in this building, we know from working in Midtown, Jesse, it's big buildings. There's lots of security usually. Like other buildings, you have to card to even get in to the elevators. In this 44-store building, the guy was able to go right up, but they had Blackstone, NFL headquarters, and more. People that are in there right now, also civilians, were wounded.
As I'm recording this video, that's the only casualty. I guess from there, he then made it up to what is being reported actually, I think earlier I said the 34th floor, but it was actually the 33rd floor where his body was found, where he allegedly turned the gun on himself and took his own life.
Sources tell Fox that includes 2 officers, one reportedly dead. Sources also say the gunman shot himself on the 33rd floor. Currently, officers are sweeping the building to see if there's a second shooter.
So that's basically the set of facts that we know so far. Just to clarify the situation, because CNN clearly has their heads shoved so far up their own freaking behinds, they just can't get their freaking act together. Oh, and maybe I spoke a little bit too soon here. See, I'm recording this video as all the information is coming out. We've got a tentative identification of the individual. This is supposedly the concealed firearms permit of the shooter, which was taken off of his body after the police found him. We've got Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department concealed firearms permit, and his name is supposedly Shane D. Tamura. Possibly a Japanese-sounding last name, and actually maybe a little bit of an Asian look in the individual. He could possibly be half black, half Japanese. So maybe that puts an end to it. No, he wasn't likely a white male. It appears he was a half black, half Japanese individual. And so those are the facts as we actually know them. But now moving on to another element of oddity from this story. Whatever in the hell was going on the ground floor as the shooting was happening? Just a bizarre element here. 2 individuals, one male and one female, were supposedly arrested at the street level during all the chaos.
This guy, he comes out of here with the he's from Palestine. He keeps saying free Palestine. He got his face covered up in the Palestine stuff. He walking out. The police don't pay him no mind. I said it's him. And then they end up getting it. They got him and they put him to the ground and they got him. Tried to it up, and so did the lady that he came in there with. She left with a red bruise on her face though. She went down in.
One of them was wearing a Free Palestine article of clothing, and according to an eyewitness in the video, either one or both of these individuals were allegedly running around in the streets screaming Free Palestine. And now, what in the hell is even that? I have absolutely no idea. Either these 2 individuals were somehow involved with the shooter, which I'm not exactly willing to go that far just yet, or we witnessed simply another display of radicalized leftist lunacy on the streets. It's entirely possible that they heard the chaos and maybe tried to hijack the moment with some unhinged pro-radical Islamist protest chant, as if they realized a possible terrorist attack was happening and they decided to start screaming Free Palestine. We don't know exactly, but those 2, I guess, most obvious potential likely explanations, both of them not exactly great, both of them rather disgusting, but as sad as it is to say, kind of a dirty display of the cultural rot that the nation is facing. Another active shooter situation, this mental health crisis that we're currently witnessing, mixed in with a potentially unsavory radical leftist moment. Oh, and I guess the cherry on top is the CNN report, attempting to immediately racialize this thing. Once again, the most trusted name in news engaging in what they call journalism, which is really just political and narrative manipulation. Yeah, I guess once again, the next time you hear the word misinformation coming from any of these mainstream media hacks, well, remember yet again another example of their utter hypocrisy on the topic. Another ugly day in clown world America. And they wonder why we're so damn righteous. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.